Slack and Major welcome you to the My Type of Hype podcast, where we celebrate hip-hop, not just the hype.
How y'all feel out there?
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. The Man Knows Hip Hop Podcast. Me, your boy Slack, as always, in the building. And my co-host, co-defendant, and co-pilot. What's happening, my brother?
Very good, man. Major, we here. My Type of Hype, the podcast that celebrates hip hop and not just the hypes, like we saying. You cool?
I'm all good, brother. Like, life is treating me well. I just wanted to say big up to everyone who's been checking out the episodes that we've been dropping recently, man. So, big up for all the love that you've been showing. Like, we had our children on last week. That went down really well. My son said to say thank you for everyone who was propsing him on his comments and stuff. So yeah, man, thank you for rocking with us. And as we promised you before we even started this podcast, man, we're just gonna keep it with the culture. We ain't gonna do none of the nonsense. We're just here to talk about the music and celebrate the culture, man. So thank you guys for sticking with us, rocking with us. And yeah, on to the next one. So what we got going on this week, bro?
Yeah, so before we hit you with a review, man. So I second everything you said. Great time with the kids on there. Treasures, man. Had a good time. But yeah, back into it. We're going to hit you with a review. Just thinking about this recently as well. We actually haven't done a review since the rebrand. So yeah, we're going to kick off with one today, man. So we thought we would review the album Michael by Killer Mike. So yeah, we thought we'd hit you up with that one today, man. So how you feeling about it?
Let's just say first off, before I get started on the album, like, there's only been a select few reviews like that we've chosen, and there's specific reasons for that. There might be something that I might not like or something that he might not like, and we try to be a little bit, see both sides of the coin. But I think with this album, I think we thought that we should review it because for me personally, it felt like a moment when I first listened to the album. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man.
It felt like as it was going, it felt big. I can't explain it. I think what I said on Twitter was it felt special because as the songs were going on, it didn't feel like it was slowing down or it didn't feel like it was losing momentum. It just felt like every song was at that level or getting even better, and it just made you want to continue to listen to it. So that was the feeling I had with many of the classic albums that I've enjoyed throughout the years. So hearing this album now was like, okay, Killer Mike ain't coming to play. And if I'm being completely honest with you, Killer Mike ain't someone that I'll put high on my list of favorite rappers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big fan of RTJ. I don't care who that offends. I'm just not a fan of them. To be honest with you. They might have a couple tunes here and there. Their message might be cool or whatever that is, but the music for me, it's nothing that I would play. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that I'll put in the car or put in the house or anything like that. So when I knew this album was coming out, I was like, okay, I wasn't anticipating it. I didn't have any expectations or anything like that for it. So the fact that it is as good as it is, as great as it is a great shock to me. And it just goes to show, man, I'll give props to anyone that's making dope music. I don't give a shit if it's someone I don't like. If Drake drops a 5 Mike album tomorrow, I'll put my hands up and say, great album. Mike, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's not good MC or anything like that, but he just never really kind of stood out to me. And some people might be like, "Oh, why?" But when he came out with Outkast, he just felt like an add-on to me. I don't think he fit in with the he was on the Whole World song. I think that was the first time I heard him. The Outkast single. And I wasn't overly impressed with that, to be honest. His solo album, a lot of people love the RAP album or the rap album.
Yeah.
I tried, man. I did. I really did. I tried to, but it didn't connect with me. But I think there's a thing between myself and LP's music that just doesn't. His shit just don't hit me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It just doesn't touch me the way it does other people. People say he's one of the greatest producers, this, that, and the other. It doesn't. It has. I like music that hits my soul, and his music just does not touch my soul at all. So my expectations were great for this album, but wow. So from the first spin was just like, as I said before, it was just wow. Like every song was like what he's saying. What I love about my favorite hip hop has got live instrumentation as well. Like even if you listen to like Doggy Style, you can hear like the bass lines are being played by bassists, like the keys are being played by keyboardists, like the drums are being played by drummers. Like it's not all tapping on the MPC and stuff like that. But there's a lot of like, and this album, you've got gospel singers, you've got like proper instrumentation. And Mike was doing his thing, like it was very introspective. He's talking on a whole load of topics. It just has everything that I would want from a hip hop album, man. It felt very black. It felt very
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It felt like he's put a bit of gospel in there. He's put some raw hip hop in there. And if you actually think about it, like all the greatest hip hop albums, it's not just straight like, you know, bars, and a lot of it you draw from other genres and you make it work. You know what I mean? And I think I said something like, you know, the singers were singing at the best way that they could, and the musicians were doing the best that they could, and Mike was doing the best that he could. It's like everyone brought their A game. And man. I heard him say that he spent 500 grand making this album, and I was like, bro, that was money well spent. I hope he recoups. I honestly do, because he deserves it, man. Because this is the kind of shit that I've been asking for for a long time. I can't tell you the last time actually an album. I've listened to some good albums over the past however many years, but this one was just another level to me. It just had so much that I would tick off and say like the beats were dope, and it wasn't just the beats; it was the whole thing around it, the whole musician part. Like some of the music really just like hit your soul. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man.
And that's what I like from my hip hop, man. Like when I talk about Dilla beats speaking to me, like I can almost feel like what he was feeling through what he was making. Like you can tell if he's upset, there might be a certain beat for that. You could be like, okay, like that was a down day or whatever, or there's some upbeat stuff, or there's some dancey kind of bouncy stuff. Like these instrumentations and beats kind of made me feel like it gave me that feeling basically, and that's what hip hop music should do, I think.
Yeah,
man, I can't speak highly enough of the album, man. I really can't.
No,
I think he's done an amazing job in this time as well, 2023, where music is so disposable. And I've spoken to a few guys on the timeline, and they said the same. They're like, music is just throwaway now. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing sticking to the ribs. This one sticks to the ribs for me. Yeah, man. I think he did an incredible job, bro. What about you, man? How you feeling?
Nah, I echo most of that, man. And I know people might be watching thinking, you always agree, but you know what? You got artists that we like that the other person don't like, and there's a lot we disagree on as much as we agree on. But I have to echo all of that, to be honest with you, man. Same as you, not a huge Killer Mike fan. Respect him, but not a huge Killer Mike fan. A lot of it is going to be like the production. Run the Jewels, same thing. Not a big fan. The rap album content was there, but I feel the production let it down. For me, I'm not a big LP fan saying that. But for this, I mean, the features, he killed it. 14 tracks. He had what? CeeLo, Jackie Dedge, Andre 3000, Ty Dolla $ign, others on there. I mean, this is like, what, 11 years after the rap album? I know he's done the Run the Jewels stuff.
I think you were saying it was like 13 years. I was like, what?
Yeah, it might be. You know, when was that rap album?
I can't remember. It was a long time. I can't. You could be right.
Yeah,
it was double figures. Put it that way, but it was a long time.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, I mean, and that I think was the first time him and LP. That I think that's what started off the whole Run the Jewels movement.
Right.
So, but it was something about this album that was just so different. Obviously, I think because I think No ID done like probably 95% of the production. Their sounds match, man, like their styles match the sound and Killer Mike's content and rapping on it. But to get into the tracks, my favorites are Down by Law with CeeLo, which I want to say if I had to pick one song as my absolute favorite, it's probably that song. From the moment it starts, that's a repeater for me. CeeLo it's the cheat code having him on the hook, man. He just kills it, man. His vocal adds everything to the track, man. Once again, to echo you, it feeds my soul, man, that song. So yeah, Down by Law, Shed Tears, Run, don't like Young Thug at all. Like you said, don't care who that offends, not a Young Thug fan, but even he goes well on the song. Slummer with Jagged Edge, the way they flick that Carpenter sample as well, love that. Motherless with Erin Allen Kane, her vocals, man, it just takes the track somewhere else, man. I mean, I'm not a big fan of her.
On that tune too.
Bro, it's different, man. I mean, her vocals add so much to it. I'm not a big fan of her work on her own, but I'm a fan of her vocals, man. And she just kills it, man. Don't Let the Devil, which is with LP, and Thank You, Good Sir, and High and Holy. They're my favorites, man. So I think the way the album starts is so strong. There's not a track I dislike, but I feel in the middle it dips a little bit for me, but then it ends. So my favorite tracks on the album are like the first 4 and the last 4, and then I just like the middle, but I love the beginning and I love the start. And the beginning and the end. And if you're starting that album in love with it and ending it in love with it, bro, that's a good thing, man. But yeah, for me, that song, High and Holy, as well. If I had to pick 2 favorites, it would be the first song and the last song, which is mad. But he delivers, man. Content, production, sound. When it finishes, I've pulled it back so many times. And like you, I didn't really have no mega expectations. I respect him, you know what I mean, what he does outside of hip hop as well. And I thought, yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. But yeah, I was listening to it on Saturday for the first time. I just had it in repeat in my ears, man. And I've been listening to it over the weekend and even this week, man. So solid album, man. He done a great job with that. Yeah, brilliant album. I really like it. It's definitely going to be one of my favorites of this year. So yeah, man, solid album. So props to Killer Mike for that.
Yeah, man. Big props to Killer Mike, man, because I never saw it coming, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, like I never saw it coming. But I hope that this is the start of like a resurgence, because 2023 has not been a good year for hip hop music. Considering it's supposed to be the 50th year anniversary, I had big expectations. I was hoping that, you know, everyone was gonna drop off, you know, like a put it all into the albums that are coming out on the 50th anniversary. It just hasn't been that, man. It's been a lot of bullshit. I'm sure we'll talk about that on another episode at some point. Yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. There's not much more I could say about it. Like I don't really have. There's a lot of features on there that I wouldn't check for their stuff, but they delivered on there. Which shows that I don't dislike them because of who they are. I dislike them because of their music. You know what I'm saying? Like, so normally if it's a feature and someone I don't like, I could be like, nah, that's still garbage. But some of the people I don't really listen to, like, I will listen to them when the music's good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, man, I can't speak highly enough of it, and I think it's one of them that will still get better and better as time goes on. I think maybe the last album I felt that way about was probably maybe even Good Kid, Mad City, man. Back in what? 20,
wow, that's far back.
For whatever. I mean, there's been good albums since then. Like I really love like Retropolitan, Prime. Oh no, actually maybe Prime. Prime might be the last album I felt like that about. But Retropolitan was dope. There's been a lot of Apollo Brown projects that have been super dope too. But this, I don't know. There's something special about it. It feels like a moment. Like a lot of these other albums, like they're dope albums, but it doesn't feel like a moment. This one feels like you put a stake in the ground. Like, okay, bitch. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Yeah. So yeah, I think this could be the catalyst for people actually coming back to say stuff on records, and rather than just, you know, the same old tired stuff that we've been hearing for years and years. He's saying stuff that, you know, other people ain't really saying on records. The beats are so organic and well made, well produced, and I just want to see more of this. So hopefully this is the beginning, and hip hop goes in cycles. We've seen it many times. So hopefully this is the start of a new cycle of artists listening to this and thinking, wow, like I can do something as good as this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, dope, man. So big respect to Killer Mike for this, man.
100%, man. So rating wise, what you saying?
I don't know, man. Would I give it a 5? I can't see why not, man. I can't see why I wouldn't give it a 5 out of 5, to be honest with you. Like he's literally ticked every box. Like he's got different flows and cadences, and his rapping is good. The beats are good. It's well put together. It's well sequenced. You got the live instrumentation on there. You got the singers on there. You got the features that work. It's gonna get better as time goes on, and I think in time people look back and say, "Yeah, okay, that's a classic album." Honestly, I'm not one to say album's a classic, or you know what I mean, like so early. So I'm not gonna say that yet because it has to grow on me, but it grew on me from first listen. But you know what I'm saying, like it needs it needs to grow over time. But as it stands, bro, like I can't give it less than a 4.5 because it is a superior rap album. And I don't want to jump out the window and give it 5 only because you know what I mean, the nature of the beast. But I'll have to go 4.5 easy. I think it's superior to many rap albums that have come out the last few years, bro.
Yeah, agreed, man. My first listen, I said 4, but I've listened to it a good 3 or 4 times since then, and I've gone more towards 4.5. Like you, I wouldn't jump to a 5 as yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it eventually becomes that for me. But I don't want to say I'm stingy. For me, 5 is just a picture of perfection. 5
is perfect.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not too quick to say, boy, that's a 5, but I'm happy to, in time, come to say, boy, yeah. But so for now, where we are right here, definitely between a 4 and a 4.5. I'd go with 4.5. Just if it went for the middle that I just kind of like, if I liked the middle as much as I like the start and the end, then it would be like a no-brainer, solid 4.5 for me. But right now, I think it's floating between 4.5. But definitely one of the best projects of the year, in my opinion. From what I've heard, I haven't heard anything, obviously, but from what I've heard, for me, one of the best projects of the year, top 5, I'd say so far. So yeah, man, Killer Mike, Michael, good job, man.
Yeah, man. Big respect to Killer Mike. We'll make sure to tag him on when we drop the episode. I think he reacted to one of my tweets about his album. I think he did because I think Star was like, give him his flowers, and definitely deserved them for this one, man. So big up to Killer Mike. Big up to you guys for watching this review. If you haven't listened to the album, I highly recommend that you go and check it out. Let us know what you think below, if you agree or if you disagree. And we'll catch you on the next one. So hopefully another album as good will gain our attention, and we'll have to do another review about another dope album. So it's good to see that an album of this quality has been dropping in 2023, man. So really dope from Killer Mike. So for me, man, we'll see you on the next one. My boy E Major, take us out, man.
Yeah, man. Peace once again for tuning in. Killer Mike, Michael, check it out. We'll be hitting you with another episode ASAP. So keep it hype. Peace. Stay blessed.